Hey guys, we are gathered here today to celebrate the life of Miss Monica Garcia on Salt Lake Housewives. Now, this weekend on Patreon, we're not doing this here today in this quick little hit. This weekend on Patreon, I am going to, for 1 hour, sit down and just break down how this happened. Listen, hindsight is 2020. In hindsight, by the way, it's 5:35 in the morning here in LA. And I had to jump on for this little mini hello. Hindsight's 2020, right? So in retrospect, it makes sense. It does. I get how we got here. Now, I have a lot of shows between right now with this little drop and Patreon. Melissa Rivers, Sarah, where I go on and on and on about how there's just no way she's going to be fired. Now, I didn't say 100%. I will never Melissa Gorga myself again, girls. And two straight guys in the back. And my gays, where are my gays at? I'll never Melissa Gorga myself again. So I never said 100%, but who cares if I'm wrong? I don't fucking care. We're in this together, guys. We're in this together. And that's really, look, out of the hundreds, there's millions and millions of people in the world that don't even know what Salt Lake Housewives is. Now, out of the hundreds of thousands of you who actually watch, sometimes 400,000, sometimes 700,000, somebody has to be happy about this. I know most of you are not, but look, there are people that are probably thrilled she's gone. Guys, the majority of you are not happy. We're in this together. It's not about whether I'm right or wrong. It's not about, it's just we're in this together. This is a loss. This is a loss. In retrospect, it makes sense to me how this happened, why this happened. And I am breaking it all down in extreme detail on Patreon this Saturday. It's going to take an hour. Let me give you some quick hits here because everyone's like, oh my God, can you just jump on and make a statement here? So here I am. And that's not a shameless plug for Patreon, but you really should listen this Saturday. Look, if anyone thinks that this is because the cast is fractured and nobody wants to film with her, and how could we have kept her? Now, you guys, listen to me. We have been together. This is my 5th year. In your 5th year, you're considered a legacy podcast. And most podcasts don't even make it past a year. And that the podcasts that do make it past a year, I think the percentage of them that make money is like, what, 10%? We're in this together, guys. I ain't going nowhere. I promise. I want to go somewhere. I do. I was just talking to a friend of mine at 5:30 in the morning who also lives in LA. And I was like, when could we retire? And can we just go to Beverly Hills Polo Lounge every single day when we retire and have a house account? He's really high up at the E Network. And he said, he's a very good friend. I've known him forever. And he's like, I'm ready to retire right now. And I'm like, me too. But guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. If you all stop listening to me, I can go somewhere finally, but you don't want to. So we're all in this together. So most of you, so my point is, this is what happens before I finish my first cup of coffee. You guys know better. All those people out there who are saying, of course, she was fired because the cast won't film with her and it's a fractured cast. Let me tell you something. I better not see any one of my listeners saying that. Okay. You guys know better because this is our 5th year together and you've listened to me for 5 years. So you know better than this. You know better that she wasn't fired because the cast won't film with her and they're fractured. Okay. We all know that has nothing to do with it. Have you ever heard of someone named Tom Sandoval? He is in his 40s. He wears nail polish. A lot of people think he's a douche. I think he's an okay guy. He plays around in this rock cover band, which is actually really good. Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras. Go see them if they ever tour again. And, he's on Vanderpump Rules. Nothing was bigger in 2023 than Scandal, right? And they all said they would never. How is he on a show in the same room filming scenes with Ariana? Okay, they haven't had a one-on-one or these deep, but it doesn't matter. And all of a sudden, I mean, what? Sheena Shea is not going to accept her paycheck. They're all coming around to filming with Tom. They've all filmed with Tom. Lala's on the stage at BravoCon saying, like, the punishment no longer fits the crime. Come on. So you mean to tell me, I mean, they wouldn't film with her and that's why she's gone? Bullshit. And everybody saying that does not listen to Behind the Velvet Rope. I know you guys know better. This has everything to do with production. This has everything to do with corporate. This has everything to do with, and it's really, and I'm going to go into this a lot more on Saturday. It's really elitist if you think about it. It's really the proverbial velvet rope, It's like one of us got on to the damn show. Really. It could be any one of us, right? Hi, housewife historian. Hi, TreyFab. Hi, support the bloggers. You guys could be a housewife. Well, I guess you can't because they don't want the lines crossed, right? It's just, I have so much to say on this. Really, it's all because of production. It's all because of corporate. And there's so many layers to it that in retrospect, I mean, the poor girl didn't have a chance. David, shame on you for not seeing this. So I don't think it has anything to do with the cast not wanting to film with her. Of course, that helps. But I mean, Heather's coming out now and saying, like, that she was so used by Jen Shah, the black eye, and she was so screwed over that, she's not the same person. She's come really far and she has, broken away from the toxicity of Jen Shah. And if she were to let Monica back in and be friends with her next season, that it would be such a regression and such a step. What type of bullshit are we reading and being fed? Bullshit. It's like, and I'm not angry. I'm just trying to pull the wool out from back behind your eyes, guys. I mean, give me a break. If Heather was told to film with her, she would fucking film with her. This has nothing to do with that. And by the way, I mean, how dumb is the cast, right? That's what the younger kids do better, okay? I mean, who the hell am I that I'm calling someone who's 40 something years old a kid? But the Vander kids, man. By the way, did we talk about this, that like Sheena and some of these people are older than actual housewives when you get into like the New York girls, and that Ashley Darby's in her 30s. Isn't she still in her 30s? Or is she 40 now? I don't know. I don't care at the moment. But the point is, the Vander kids do it better. They know what they're doing. Now, by the way, I mean, does anyone else, if you really dig deep, don't you want to see Raquel Leviss this next season on Vanderpump Rules? I would have loved to have seen all that play out. Guys, we have like less than a week left. Sarah and I are going to be recapping Vanderpump Rules. I hope it's a good season. But listen to me, man's, women's. I mean, I don't know. The cast, the Vander kids know what to do. They milk that shit. Give me a break. Lala's not thrilled that Tom is back secretly. Sheena Shea, you have a job. Remember when you didn't think you were going to have a job when you thought Vanderpump was going to be canceled? So the kids know how to do it. I mean, how dumb is this cast? Like, this show, you had the highest rated episode. And I don't know about the reunion, but the finale was the highest rated episode in Salt Lake history, other than the premiere. So everyone watched the premiere and said, what the fuck is this? And then tuned out. You shouldn't have. Season 1 was great. Season 2 was really good. Season 3 was trash. Now, look, I said I wasn't going to watch this season. It was like the best thing in the world. So maybe next season will be okay. They're starting to film right away. So the whole thing is now going to be about Monica. The same way we talked about Jen Shah, we're going to be talking about Monica. Why not just have her there? And by the way, and again, this will be covered in detail because each topic I just mentioned is like a 15-minute. We're going to have like 4 segments on Saturday. It's a 15-minute. We're going to talk about producers and why it really is them. And then I'm going to point to all sorts of statements I read and how it's not about the cast and Heather and the black eye and how that factors in. But how dumb is the cast? I mean, you could have written this. I mean, you, Meredith, were bigger at the moment than Erica Jane. You guys were, you were it. You were the scandal. You were it. You fumbled the fucking ball. So I don't think the cast has any say. I really don't. But you certainly didn't help yourselves, and you should have been begging production to keep her, because you could have, I mean, you could have been everywhere. You could have gone and had your Jimmy Fallon moment. Like, it could have been so big. It was so big. They were comparing it to Teresa's table flip. And this could have just, I mean, you did it, girls. Salt Lake. You were more talked about than Jersey, more talked about than Beverly Hills. You were it right now. And that moment is so fleeting. We'll see how Vanderpump Rules season 11 does. And you should have just held on to the ball. So, I mean, if I were Lisa Barlow, I would secretly be like, fuck, I wish the girl was coming back. I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to film an episode, and the first and second and third episodes, not even three, will be about Monica and how we get past it. And yeah, we're going to see everybody get along, and Lisa and Heather and blah, blah, blah. Everyone's going to get along for the first few episodes. Angie's the wild card. But, I said up here, and I don't make predictions no more 100%. But like last season, when I said Lisa Rinna is going to be fired and Crystal Kung isn't, and people are like, Crystal's going to be fired. I'm like, no, it's just that corporate, they want you to bring your B game in corporate America. Not everyone could be the. So here's the example. Angie keeps her job and Monica gets fired. That doesn't shock me in retrospect. And I have nothing against Angie. I had her husband on the show. She made an appearance. I like Angie. I have literally nothing against her. Actually, I think she's, in a way, the most interesting person to watch next season, because there's so much there that we don't really see or know, because we were so consumed by Monica, that I think that Angie has, she's the kind of like, where's that going to go? Where is that going to go? Are her and Meredith going to repair things? They might. Meredith might just say, like, listen, after Monica, I mean, that's what will happen, but we got to get something here. We got to get something. We are on Saturday going to talk about the two new rumored girls that are joining Salt Lake, two new rumored girls. So we're going to have two newbies. So anything could happen. And look, by the end of a season, by the middle of a season, it never feels the same as the prior season. We move on. We're over Let It Be About Tom. We're over Erica and Tom, Erica and Tom. We're over Lisa Rinna and her psychotic breakdowns. Kathy, we all just move on because we have new stuff to deal with. So Salt Lake will move on. I mean, is anyone out there excited to watch next season? I mean, Pete, you guys are really mad. You're really, really mad. I mean, the rat that scurries, Tam and her cheese, she's weighed in and said, I mean, Tamara, first of all, is anyone sitting on the edge of their seat waiting to hear what the Tamrat has said about this? I mean, not really, but she says that, it just popped up right before I hopped on air. It says that, Monica Garcia will go down in history as one of the, as the best one season housewife ever. And just remember, it's not over till it's over. Okay, Tam. First of all, can you let me just correct you. Monica will go down in history as one of the best housewives ever. We don't need to put a qualifying first season on it. And also, the rat that scurries. Didn't you say the same thing about Leah McSweeney? Do you still believe that? Leah? Anyone calling Leah McSweeney? Is this mic on? Anyone calling her? She's on the Uptown train heading to the Upper East Side to try to remember her days of filming on RHONY. Lives downtown, wishes she was an Uptown girl. Hey, I got nothing wrong with being an Uptown girl. I'm an Uptown girl now. Swore I would never live uptown. I'm over downtown. I love living uptown. When I'm in New York. But Leah, just be yourself, Leah. Just be real, man. So I don't know why we need to qualify that, but she's gonna be missed, guys. She's gonna be missed. And Monica hasn't really said anything about this yet. So I mean, I do have a real problem with Andy on Watch What Happens saying, like, I mean, we are not stupid. So why are we still 19, 20, 25 seasons in. Okay, it's 18 seasons. I get it. That's what the RHOC is filming. Why are we still saying things like she decided to take a step away? I don't understand. David Yontef, have been fired. I've been fired from basically been fired from every job I have. When I was a lawyer, I was fired just for poor performance because like I didn't give a shit. And then when I was in HR and recruiting, I was fired because, well, I brought my A game and I did it better than the other people. And no one wants your A game. So I had an attitude. Shocker. So the best entrepreneurs have actually been fired from most of their jobs. I would love to go to the Shark Tank guys. Kevin, who's been on the show, we had Damon John on. I'd love to know how many of them have been fired from. I've been fired from like every job. But that is why we do not work for anyone else. We work for ourselves. Thanks for the calls, iHeart. I really do appreciate the calls. It's very flattering. And but I'm gonna stay where I am. It's working out for me. You know what I mean? Um, what is my point? So I really get lost in these little chats, guys, which you all seem to love my tangents. But I don't even know what point. Oh, my point is she's one of the best housewives ever. We will move on. I will move on. I'm not biased. I fully understand there are people that are happy today. And I feel it's just a missed opportunity. I really do. But wait, my point was coming back to it. Why is Andy sitting there and trying to pretend like, that she left on her own? I mean, we're saying like Monica has decided to step away. No one has decided to step away. Monica Garcia has not decided after making $60,000 her first year when she says she's broke, she says she's poor, she's divorced, she's flawed. This is why we love her. She's owning it. She says, you're just all upset because I infiltrated a group of elitists. She's saying that they're saying she did not take a step away. You fired her. So I don't know why we're sitting there and watch what happens and call her, quote unquote. And Andy's asking Heather, how do you feel about the fact that Monica's decided to take a step away? No one's decided to take a step away from anything. Okay. You guys fired her. Now you have to deal with the consequences. I'm not angry. Remember, we're not angry here anymore. Just revealing the facts. So there we go. Enjoy listening to all my shows between now and Saturday, but we will break this down because each topic, the producers, why it's corporate, what the future of the show is, where the cast themselves made mistakes. I just alluded to that. We're going to go into these two rumored newbies. We're going to go into so much. We're going to go into Heather's black eye and Jen Shah and the hypocrisy and the double standards of how we just brush certain things under the rug. Listen, could you imagine? I mean, there's so many of these podcasts that just kiss up to the corporate machine. I have nothing against Bravo, but can you imagine if I just sat here and just tried to sugarcoat everything? I mean, aren't you guys happy? At least I'm fucking honest and real. That's just what it is. The train has left the station. I can't turn back. I can't sit here and lie to people and pretend. Oh my God, it's this housewife. Let me be so nice. I will be nice when you deserve it, and I can't when you don't. So we got a lot to talk about. Hopefully this satisfies everyone. Until then, I had Linda Gray on today, an icon, Sue Ellen Ewing from Dallas. Does anyone fucking care? Listen to Linda Gray. Dallas is one of the best shows ever. Yesterday, I had Nikki and Donna, Madonna's backup dancers. We just made press. We're in like OK Magazine because they're talking about Madonna's, rush to the hospital and near-death experience. So listen to Nikki and Donna, listen to Linda Gray. I was on here yesterday doing an emergency episode over the return of RHOSLC and Melissa Gorga's new life announcement and Teresa's latest revelations. Listen to my mini episode yesterday. These mini episodes, by the way, guys, are getting way too long. I have to go. I love you all. I will see you Saturday and listen to my episodes in between. Monica Garcia is fired, and we are all in this together. Goodbye, you guys.